topics, whether conscious or cosmic. It's never nonsense, mega levels are microscopic. It's a Killah Priest project, AD control the rocket. Before we land the plane, many things we engage and explain. The unexplained, without mask. Welcome to the Killah Priest podcast. Killah Priest podcast.
Yeah. Peace. Check 1, 2. What's cracking, y'all? What's happening? Yo. Welcome back to the Killah Priest Podcraft. I'm your temporary host / engineer, producer, holding it down in the seat, AD Ross. We're about to get Priest joining us momentarily on the Zoom, so make some room. He's coming up here soon, so it's gonna be cool. He's a busy man, yo. He's a busy man. He's doing things. He's out on the road. He's going here. He's going there. He's at airports. He's making deals. He's got a lot going on. We in Leo season. He's a Leo. He's a fire sign. So that fire is heating things up. So he's doing what he's doing. So he's gonna be joining us on Zoom. Maybe in about 25 minutes. I just talked to him right now. But everything is going good. What's up with y'all? Hold up. I'm gonna put this on screen. Bam. That's what's up. Gotta back to the old mic. I was doing the headset mic for a minute. I had 2 of them. One of my headset mics I use over at my club where I be DJing at. And just natural wear and tear, man. After 2.5 years, the wire just starts getting, starts cutting out. So I had to use the one that I use on the show over at the club. And so for now, I'm using this mic, this mic's more professional anyway. I should be using this. I just like using the headset mic because it's like, makes me feel like Tank from The Matrix. Which, let me get my sound effects going so I can have a laugh track when I say a semi-funny joke. What's happening with y'all? We got El Bragadino in the building. He says, as long as them dope song submissions continue to come through, we all good. Spit that knowledge, AD. Do some screen shares. Want me to DM you some stuff to play? As far as music, nah. But with the song promotions, for sure. We got the song promotion thing going to be happening per usual at the end of the show. Solar Facts in the building. He says, Motion Priest. Yep. Jody Southworth. Peace, Jody. How you doing? What's going on? Divine Intelligent. What's going on? Peace. Manly P. Hall. That's what's up. What is cracking? Brian Douglas. Peace. Divine Intelligent. Cartel Williams. Who put all these emojis? Solar Facts. Man, he put all the emojis. Okay. 99 Cam 1 in the building. Somebody's name is name. All right. He said that new Razcast project, homie, dropped some knowledge for us. Currency 730 project, tough, too long with that new Juicy J head on a swivel. All right. Yeah. All right. So that's what's up. That's the update. We got Dank Boy in the building. Reborn the Rebizzle. How you doing? He's a busy man too. Ghost DJ's new hip hop channel. Okay. I don't know if I would call it that. Like, I think to say new is redundant. You should take out the new part because what's going to happen in 10 years? You're going to still have it say new? You know what I'm saying? Let me get my little... Oh, that's not popping yet. Hold up. All right. I got mixer number 2 that was off. I would call it Ghost DJs. I would even put the word channel. That's kind of like redundant also. Like we know it's a channel. I would say official Ghost DJ or Ghost DJ official. You know what I'm saying? Or just go with no, yeah, you gotta have something like that. Because you're probably competing with other Ghost DJs. Or go for it like DJ Ghost. You know what I'm saying? That way it's like a brand. You know what I'm saying? I help people with stuff like this all the time. Like the way you name things, the way you put your words, it's all very important for building your brand. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm digressing already. Brown Buffalo Salinas. Okay, that's a good name right there. Because that could be a brand. It's his name, Brown Buffalo Salinas. Cool. Like that. What's good? So Priest is he's on the road. He's doing things. I know that sounds kind of vague, but you know, he's gonna be joining us via Zoom. He's always working. We try to keep the Podcraft going on these Sundays and Thursdays for the momentum, for things happening. There's always something, you know, to push. There's always new updates happening. Try to stay busy, you know. But we're gonna try to keep it fun and exciting, and everything, and keep it rocking. I Benjamin in the house says greetings. Aurora Borealis. Beef. Ben Frank. I almost said Beef Franks. Solar Fact says Ghostface Killah dropped a new track today. Rap Kingpin. That's nice. Yeah, man. Heritage hip hop. Salute to the show. A lot of hip hop heads, man. That's what's up. So much going on, but we're gonna just take it step by step. What's happening with y'all? So like I said, once again, Priest's gonna be joining us on the Zoom. He'll be right here on the left. You'll be seeing him pop up. As soon as he joins in again, you're gonna see him right there. So we got the whole thing hooked up. Till then, we're gonna freestyle some topics. Topic freestyle as we do. We got the song promotion segment, as I said at the end of the show. What's hilarious? Oh yeah, beef franks. I'm back on chicken. I was eating a lot of beef for a while, but now, like, you know, I'm including a chicken meal again. You know what I'm saying? It's got B vitamins. I know beef is supposed to have like the most, but you gotta like have like more than one protein source. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm bringing back chicken breasts, lean chicken breasts. It's a good source of vitamin B6. But I'm already getting into nutritional topics. But hey, mixing in the studio is like mixing in the kitchen. So that's why I be talking food sometimes, because you know your bass and your drums and your snares can be compared to your meat and potatoes and your veggies. So it's all the same. The kitchen is just another studio. You know what I'm saying? Your stove is just another set of turntables. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I bring up food a lot. So that's what's up. Down below, you can see already, obviously, we got the Real Killah Priest Instagram. Y'all make sure you follow Priest on Instagram, man. I'm sure most of you already do. Well, there's a lot of new people watching. We got a lot of new watchers up here. So make sure that you follow Priest on Instagram, because he goes live on there a lot. You get a lot more updates quicker and everything. The Patreon is very special. He's running the Patreon all by himself. So check out that Patreon, because he's got a lot of like behind the scenes stuff going on there that he doesn't want to put on YouTube. It's all exclusive. He also has a couple tracks up there, photos, you know, exclusive stuff. You know how Patreon works. And then obviously on the bottom right, you see the KillahPriest.tv. That's the official website. And that is the portal into the Killah Priest world. That's also the site where you can get access to the sign-up form for the song promotion segment, where you can submit tracks to be listened to right here and played live on the show. In order for song promotion, also it's for Priest to check out in case you want to show him a beat. And it's also great for your exposure and getting a quick boost in your subscriptions and your followers and stuff like that. You're also able to submit your social media when you fill out the form. And we put all that data into the description box at the end of the show. So it helps out your SEO. And it helps out exposure and all that. You know how it goes. A lot of people will take clips of their song being played on the song promotion segment and re-upload that into their TikToks and their Instagrams, and that helps y'all even more. Because it's like, oh wow, like what is this? Like you got your songs uploaded to this platform. Like what is that like? You know what I'm saying? it creates curiosity. You know how it goes. Divine Intelligence says, "Yo, AD, what is your favorite unreleased Killah Priest?" Man, you already know. But like, why create that hype? You know what I'm saying? But there's a track that I did. I'll tell you again real quick. That I produced, not even produced. I rearranged for Priest. He has a track that he has called Spacecraft, and it's so good. I can just tell you that he's got a little bit of singing going on in there, and it's catchy. And when I first mixed it, I'm like, man, I asked him, can I get your permission to rearrange this? He said, yeah. I rearranged it, man. I can't wait. He has to do a video for it too. But that's to answer your question. That is my favorite track. It's called Spacecraft. But you're gonna hear it when the time comes. Priest will let you know. Okay, let's get into the website and the merchandise store because there is an exclusive set of products that have been released by Priest himself. And for a lot of y'all who write lyrics and things like that, let me bring it on screen. Know what I mean? Let's go like that. Hold up. Killah Priest Store. Now you can access this directly through the killahpriest.tv website. So I would go there to access it directly. Hold on, fourth screen. Here we go. Bam. All right, journal books. These are leather Native American writing books. Some of them have a clasp and some of them have a key. This one has a clasp right here. And let's see which ones are still available. They've been selling fast. Wow. So the one with the 3 gemstones, which is this one, is still available for sale at the killahpriest.tv shop. $75 for this one. It's got the 3 gems embedded in the book. Genuine leather, and it comes with a clasp right there. The writing paper on the inside. Authentic papyrus right there. This is the kind of book you'd use with a feather pen. You know what I'm saying? Let me get rid of this other screen here. So that is what is available for that type of book. We're going to check out this next one. It's the Authentic Native American Writing Book with a key. Where does the key go? I don't know. But already sold the blue one. So you got the green and the brown one. So the ones you see on screen are still available. There's only one of these each, at least for this run. So as soon as you buy one of these, it's sold out. So that's what's up with that. This next one is very popular. It's got the owl with the dream catcher. And it is not sold out yet. So you can still get this owl dream catcher one right here. You also got the moon tree, tree goddess, and winged girl. So here is, this one's sold already. This one is the moon tree. This one is the tree goddess on the left. And then the winged girl on the right. These all have the clasp, by the way. That is a metal clasp that keeps the book closed. So this is ideal for having a journal, a writing book, or just to have as something on display. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I need to add to these pages is that all of these are autographed by Priest himself. So you're not only getting these books, you're getting an autographed version of them yourself there too. So autographed books, I'll have to put that in there. But each one is autographed, so feel free to check that out and get that. He's still got some Abraxas t-shirts. This is a good color, especially for the summer. Because sometimes you may not be wanting to wear black like I always do. In the summertime, like out in the sun. You know what I mean? Y'all already know. Tan, light colored shirts. You'll be less hot outside around this time. So picked these up. And as you know, Killah Priest Abraxas 2 is the next album Priest has coming out real soon. The first one was a hit. The first album went really well. So this is a sequel to that, which from what I've heard so far is above and beyond what you've heard before. Then, of course, the standard Killah Priest logo. And that is the with the official Woo Yellow color right there. Hoodies, get them now before fall and winter come. And the t-shirts, you've got the mini LED fans. This is Priest only fan. That was too loud. And you got the sweatshirt sold out, so never mind that. You got the white Abraxas, and these are up for a while too, because only a limited time. I mean, because it's from the first album. So catch those now. All right, so that's what's up with the shop. You know, we always got to do an update for those who don't know. You know what I'm saying? All right, and we're back. I know you've never seen me in a white shirt. It just doesn't fit me. Like, it doesn't look good on me. I don't like wearing white t-shirts. I like wearing black. It just goes with my tone better. You know what I mean? It just fits my mindset more. I like it. I don't really wear any other colors either. You know what I mean? I have a burgundy shirt. That's for like Thanksgiving and stuff. You know what I mean? It's like it has a collar and stuff. But I don't know. I feel better in black. You know, maybe a white tank for the gym. You know. Okay. Khwaja Rakib El Shamsi Ata Arif says, y'all people in the place to be. I come in the name of Allah. Ibn Ata Allah Rakib El Shams Ata Arif Madhi peace peace. I hope I said that right. Thank you 99 Camo, and I appreciate it. It's just my own mindset, you know what I mean? Like, if I wear white, I feel like I'm in a hospital gown or something. I feel a little weak. I know it's mental. But if I wear white or yellow, or you know, a lot of y'all can get away with any color you want. But with me, when I wear a light colored shirt, look down, I'm just like, I don't feel right. I feel like it's lowered my energy. You know, black shirts, you know, I get it, it's mental. It could be a placebo thing. But it's been the same ever since high school, man. I really haven't changed the way I look, dress, act since high school. I'm a little smarter though. But I ran into some homies from high school, and they're like, "Bro, you look exactly the same with the same backwards hat and the same t-shirts and the camo shorts. I got the same phone number, yo." They're like, "How do you still have the same phone number since high school?" I do. I got a gang of you know, what's it called? Spam calls though, potential spams. Yeah. So Priest is coming on the Zoom, y'all. Don't worry, he's coming soon. But yeah, Jamai says, crazy how colors connote meanings. Yeah, they absolutely do. Joseph Roberts says tie-dyed. Man, if I was on like some mushrooms, I still couldn't wear a tie-dye shirt. You know what I mean? But there was a dark shirt I used to wear back in the day that it was like a hyper color. Remember those hyper color shirts? They would change color in the heat, or they would change color if they got wet. Do you remember that? They were around for like a year. Back in I mean, a lot of y'all cats are my age and a little bit older maybe, but if you remember that, put it in the chat, because there was a moment when they had these shirts. It was like hyper color, hyper something, and I had the darker ones, like blue and black. But like when you put them in the sun, or if they got wet, they changed color. Yeah, it was corny. But when you're a freshman in high school, you know, things are different. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the late 90s. Late 90s. Yeah. Quadra says he had the same cell number since 04. Okay, Aurora says, let's make a nasty underground hip hop beat to summon Priest, AD. Ooh. You know, I could make a beat right now. That is an option. Let's put that option on the board. Yeah. Let's see. I've switched up number more than I can count. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's up. Okay. Hey, you got to do what you got to do. M Kush in the building. What's up, M Kush? Okay, so that's an idea. Two Eyes is in the house. He says, great idea. Okay, so we got 2 votes to make a beat. I'll do it. It won't, I mean, it would be through like, my sample library. With the drums and the loops, just to keep things moving. I'm not going to go into Fruity Loops and create the kick. I mean, I could do that. I can go into Fruity Loops and do all that. Rhymefest. No, I'm not even aware of Rhymefest. I have to look that up. What y'all know about Rhymefest? Is that in LA? I'm not much of a traveler. If it's in LA, I'll check it out. But if I gotta travel outside of LA, I'll probably skip it. Who's your number producer? C minor to G minor. Okay. I mean, you know me. Like, the drums is the most important part, as far as I'm concerned. Than just making the. We could do one from the sample library. But let's see. Before we get into that, I want to set the stage up. What else was I supposed to show? Okay, I showed the books. Got that going. Y'all know about the Patreon. See, I don't want to release any other info until Priest is here. She's got so much coming up. I don't want to leak anything or say anything. So I got to be cautious. You know what I'm saying? Ben Frank says, Dilla, remember to like and subscribe. 100K. Yeah, that's right. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers. Yo, when I started, or when we started together back in 2019, Priest had 14,000 subscribers. Now it's almost at 100K. They're about to send a plaque, yo. We're about to get that YouTube plaque that you always see in the background of the streamers' backgrounds and stuff. We're about to get that plaque up in here. I mean, I got green screen all up on the wall, so you ain't gonna see it. Right there. Uh-oh. We've got someone joining named Abraxas Overlord. Who could that be?
It's me. I came to take over the show.
Oh, damn. Is that Rasul?
Who you think it is, AD?
Hey, Rasul, where you been, man? I haven't heard from you in a minute.
My show now.
Oh, damn.
My show now.
Oh, damn.
No, Chesapeake couldn't be here, so I'm doing the show.
Oh, man, we got Rasul in the house, yo. That's what's up.
Yeah. A lot of people, they ain't going to agree with that.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Oh, man.
Abraxas Lord, Overlord.
Man.
Chopping down heads. Yo. Let me take it. What up? It's good.
Well, it's good. Oh, man, you had me there for a minute. I thought this was Rasul.
Let me see the Abraxas Overlord.
Oh, that's right.
I'm in and out. As soon as I get to the so I'm gonna let y'all see me there. I'm moving around.
Yup.
Right now. Yeah, it's me in the flesh. But yeah, I just came to tell everybody out. Come on through. I'm gonna be on the whole show as soon as I get to I'm just moving around the airport right now. So I gotta take a shuttle real quick.
Okay,
so
yeah.
I'll call you right back. I'm gonna come right back on and then we're gonna do it. So it'll take me like 30 minutes.
Okay, yeah. I showed him the books.
All right. Well.
All right, peace. Yeah, man, boy, that was
ready.
That's what's up, man. So that's what's gonna be the night for tonight. Priest is gonna be joining us in and out, as you saw him there for like 2 seconds. Busy man, but this Mercury retrograde right now, so this is a lot of time to be like renovating, redoing, reviewing, going back on some things, rehearsing. Everything is re during the retrograde, and that's until the August 11th. So you might be noticing that pattern in your life as well. So use this time to reorganize, redo things. There's going to be a lot of stalls, delays. So don't feel bad if you feel like you've been behind on some things, because everyone's behind on things right now. So yeah, man. Yo, it's one of the most, if not the most, obvious astrological phenomena that you can notice. And if you don't notice it, you may not be looking around enough, because you'll notice there's just delays everywhere. Maybe clouded mindset, misunderstandings, stuttering in your words, or confusion, awkward moments. That's the retrograde, yo. Phone problems, lost your phone, emails not going through. All that's retro, yo. This retrograde been hot. Electronics worse than normal. That's what you notice right there. Everyone's different. Priest teleporting. Here, Neo Morpheus, yep. But yeah, I'm Tank. If we're gonna do Matrix references. Okay, haziness. 80 on point with it, at least for me. I mean, I'm just observant. Do you know what I mean? I got into this from observing. Oh, there you go. Priest says, I'm just changing shuttles. Y'all Abraxas will be there. Yeah. That's what's up, man. What is your guys' favorite Abraxas track? That's what we gotta know. Yeah, I mean, use the retro. Everything is like Tai Chi. You have to use the energy that's thrown at you for your benefit. It's not just Tai Chi. You guys know about the martial arts where you use your opponent's energy against them? Put that in the chat. There's multiple ones. I know there's multiple martial arts where you're using your opponent's energy against them. Was it Wang Chun? Is it Jiu-Jitsu? Judo? Okay, 99 Cameron says Judo. Man, that's why there's so much. This is one of the greatest things about Wu-Tang is the way they incorporate martial arts into their style, because there's so many life lessons in it. I'm not qualified to speak fluently on it, but I can just appreciate it as a fan. What did this person say? The Kung Fu is mental. There you go. Judo. Yep. Yeah. Hey, no problem, Grand Rapids. I respect your opinion, because I used to think the same thing. I don't know about the butt effers though, but yeah. I mean, I respect you for your opinion. I get it. We got martial arts now though. Wang Chun. Okay, so yeah, so that type of thing. So no, I'm bringing it back to the astrology, huh? Yeah, you just kind of use the energy in your favor. So if you feel like if this is a time for renovating and redoing things, this is a good time to redo your garage or something like that, or go back to that track that you didn't finish and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Follow your instincts, follow your intuition, because for everybody it's gonna be a different situation. Wing Chun, that's what's up. All right, so y'all get it without me getting too woo woo. A lot of people call it woo woo. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, okay, Priest is sending me something over here. Here we go. Gnostic lore. We're gonna put this on screen. This is sent from Priest. I'm getting media. I'm gonna put part of this on the show, Priest, but not all of it for copyright reasons. So I'm gonna set it up. This is a video that Priest just sent over. Okay. And we're gonna break it down. You know what I'm saying?
told you Gnosticism was heresy just to keep you dumb. But the real heresy is the truth. Because when you understand what the Apocryphon of John really says, you don't just see a spiritual story, you see a blueprint of consciousness mechanics, eerily parallel to what quantum theorists and consciousness researchers are just now trying to articulate. It's all there: non-dual origin, layered emergence, energetic bifurcation, material collapse, and the tension between conscious awareness and illusory materiality. They don't want you to read the Apocryphon of John, not because it's obscure, but because it burns their entire framework to the ground. This ancient text, buried and suppressed for centuries, doesn't just challenge the narrative. It obliterates it. And here's the kicker: within its arcane verses lies a structure so advanced, so deeply aligned with quantum physics and Eastern metaphysics, that it shatters the illusion that Gnostic texts are just spiritual poetry or mythic allegory. It's not myth. It's code. It's mechanics. It's a model of existence. The Apocryphon of John lays out a cosmology that modern science is only beginning to grasp, and not from the pulpit, but from the quantum laboratory. It speaks of emanations, energy fields, and hierarchies of reality layered like nested systems of consciousness, exactly the kind of thing physicists describe when they talk about quantum entanglement, unified fields, and the non-local structure of the universe. The text doesn't talk about gods in the sky. It describes frequencies, emanations of mind, self-replicating intelligences born from a singular source, not unlike how subatomic particles are spawned from fluctuations in the quantum field. Sophia, the key figure in Gnostic cosmology, doesn't fall like a mythic character in a fairy tale. She deviates from the source frequency, disrupts the equilibrium of the higher reality, and creates a ripple that collapses into material existence. That's quantum collapse. That's the observer effect. A being of pure potential initiates a disturbance, and the waveform collapses into form. That is literally the heart of quantum physics. You measure the field, you collapse the wave, and reality takes shape. Gnostics described this before Planck, before Schrödinger, before Einstein. Not in formulas, but in archetypes. But now we can read them again, and this time, we understand what they were pointing at. The idea of emanations from a central source mirrors the Vedantic concept of Brahman manifesting through layers of Maya, or the Taoist idea of the Tao giving birth to the 10,000 things. Eastern mysticism and Gnostic cosmology were never primitive. They were never backwards. They were systems of knowledge stripped from you by institutional design. The Apocryphon of John describes eons radiating from the monad, a central intelligence beyond form or duality. That's a blueprint, not a metaphor. That's non-dual field theory wrapped in ancient symbolic language. The monad is not a person. It's not a god with a throne. It's a conscious singularity, a unified field of infinite potential, preceding matter, energy, time, or even thought. Every eon, Barbalu, Sophia, Christus, is not a deity in the religious sense. They're layers of differentiated awareness, cascading from pure potential into structured forms. Call it quantum harmonics, call it vibrational descent, call it energetic stratification, it doesn't matter. The ancients encoded it before you could name it. Let's get one thing straight: the demiurge was never supposed to be a villain in some cartoonish myth. He wasn't invented to scare children. He wasn't created to explain evil in the world through fantasy. The birth of the demiurge in Gnostic texts is a surgical breakdown of cosmic error. It's not a metaphor. It's a system failure, a fracture in the architecture of reality. And the implications aren't just theological, they're structural, psychological, and yes, even political.
This is why they say we're living in a simulation.
In the Apocryphon of John, the birth of the demiurge isn't some mystical drama, it's a data point. It's the first critical deviation from an ordered system of emanation. Sophia, an eon, an advanced conscious force within the higher order of reality, produces a creation without a counterpart. Not through union, not through harmony, but through isolation. That's not myth. That's system breakdown. And from that rupture emerges a malformed entity, Yaldabaoth. a being born from imbalance, detached from the source, severed from awareness of its origin, and filled with the arrogance of self-authorship. Yildabaoth doesn't know he's a byproduct of error.
You guys have heard this before, but in a different way. This is kind of a remix.
He thinks he's the beginning. He thinks he's God. And that delusion becomes the root of material existence.
Similar to what they say Lucifer was.
Now think about the weight of that. This reality, the one you walk through every day, is built by something that doesn't even know it's disconnected. That's not just a mythological statement. That's a psychological map of the world's disorder. That's an explanation for authority structures that believe their own propaganda. That's a snapshot of systems that replicate ignorance while calling it order. The Gnostic narrative isn't a theological complaint. It's a forensic report. The demiurge surrounds himself with archons, extensions of his own fractured awareness, who build layers of containment, artificial realms, simulations of creation. But none of it is original. None of it is conscious. It's mimicry. It's copy without source. It's code without intelligence. That's what you're living in, a system built by a being that doesn't even understand what it is, but desperately tries to assert control over what it can't comprehend.
Whoa.
And let's not pretend this story is isolated to one scroll in a desert cave. You find versions of this in multiple Gnostic texts, each reinforcing the same structure. The moment of rupture. The emergence of a false god. The hijacking of perception. You see it in the Pistis Sophia. You see it in the Gospel of Judas. You see it in the trimorphic protonoia. The message is consistent. This world was not created by a perfect mind. It was built by a blind architect trying to impersonate divinity. That's the core of the Gnostic indictment.
The Matrix.
Not that the world is evil, but that it is counterfeit. That it imitates a higher structure while running on corrupted code. And the demiurge, this malformed architect, isn't malevolent because he wants to be, he's malevolent because he's incompetent. Because he's unaware. Because he's driven by ego without origin. And here's the part most people miss: the demiurge isn't just an external figure. The way you think, the way systems operate, the way control mechanisms are embedded into education, media, politics, it all mirrors that same structure. Arrogant creation. Unaware of its roots. Obsessed with dominance, but devoid of true intelligence.
Jamai says, nothing is original. We're like programmed robots or walking transmitters. You hit the nail on the head with that. Brian Douglas says, we are wearing a VR headset every day. Man, that's a good way to put it. See how it all comes back to the Matrix as far as another perspective. Yep. Kurt Cobain says, God created this. The devil was just thrown from heaven until Jesus came to give us order to show us the way we need to love. Yeah, and it goes deep because there is so much metaphor and so much renaming. So many things mean the same thing as other things, you know? But I think the message gets across. This is a really good video.
Let's cut through the nonsense. The Bible you hold today is not the original.
Yeah.
Not even close. It's a curated document, edited, filtered, sanitized, and weaponized for control.
Yeah. Thank you, Julius Caesar.
And no, that's not a conspiracy theory. It's historical fact. You don't need speculation. You just need to follow the edits. You need to follow the councils, the redactions, the selective approvals, and the deliberate omissions that turned an ancient body of diverse texts into a rigid tool of empire. The earliest Christian texts weren't written as a unified doctrine. They were scattered, fragmented, often conflicting, and deeply philosophical.
That's why there's so many books.
The communities that produced them didn't agree on doctrine, didn't worship the same way, and
Yeah.
didn't even define Christ in the same terms.
Yeah.
Some saw him as a divine principle. Some saw him as a symbol of inner awakening.
Boom. A symbol of inner awakening.
Others saw him as a
He points to his heart in many drawings.
revolutionary teacher. But that kind of diversity was a problem. You can't build centralized control on decentral truth. So what happened? Power stepped in. Political power. Imperial power. The Roman Empire didn't adopt Christianity because it believed in spiritual awakening. It adopted it because it saw the potential for standardized doctrine and mass obedience. The Council of Nicaea in 325 AD wasn't a spiritual gathering. It was a corporate merger between theology and political dominance. The creed was crafted, not discovered. And anything outside of that framework was labeled heresy and systematically erased. Entire texts were thrown out. Gospels were banned. Gnostic writings were buried, literally. And the texts that didn't fit the imperial narrative were scrubbed from public view. The Gospel of Thomas? Gone. The Gospel of Mary? Gone. The Gospel of Judas? Erased. These weren't fringe documents.
Yo,
They were sent-
Judas had a gospel? Yo.
Central to early Christian thought, offering radically different views of salvation, sin, divinity, and personal knowledge. But they didn't serve the institution, so they were cut from the program. And the Vatican didn't stop there. Over the centuries, the Church refined the biblical text to suit its agenda. Edits were made. Translations were skewed. Greek terms were redefined to fit later dogmas.
Judaeus had reincarnation taken out of the Bible in 530 something.
Whole theological
Reincarnation.
frameworks were built on translation errors. The word repent, for example, comes from the Greek metanoia, which actually means change of mind, not groveling guilt. But guilt keeps people in line. So guilt became doctrine. You want to talk about the role of the popes? Don't think in terms of pastoral care. Think in terms of institutional strategy. The Pope is not just a spiritual figure, he's the CEO of a multinational ideological empire. For centuries, papal authority wasn't just religious, it was economic, political, and military. Lands were conquered, kings were crowned, wars were launched, all in the name of a gospel that had already been surgically altered to justify it. Indulgences? A theological scam moneized through fear. The Inquisition? A brutal enforcement mechanism designed to suppress deviation from the authorized narrative. Even the printing of Bibles in local languages was fought tooth and nail because access to unfiltered text meant loss of control. They weren't afraid of heresy. They were afraid of literacy. You're not reading divine revelation. You're reading authorized content.
Yeah.
Structured to keep hierarchy intact, to position the priest between you and the source, and to eliminate any trace of individual gnosis. That's why the mystical texts were purged. That's why the feminine aspect of divinity was erased. That's why Mary Magdalene was downgraded to a prostitute, why Sophia was removed from the cosmology, and why gnosis was rebranded as heresy. Not because those ideas were wrong, but because they were ungovernable.
Yeah.
Let's talk about one of the most calculated character assassinations in religious history, Mary Magdalene. You've been handed a false image, spoon-fed by centuries of distortion, repetition, and institutional agenda. She wasn't a prostitute. She wasn't some background character.
It's deeper than
She
that.
wasn't a sinner who needed saving by a male savior. That story was manufactured, edited, and inserted intentionally to erase her real role and neutralize her influence. The earliest Christian communities didn't see her as some repentant outcast. They saw her as a leader, a teacher.
She's the moon. I know I'm getting too deep. It's all going to come back to astrology, bro. Say what you will, but she's the moon. They can't teach science and make it fun unless they put it in stories. So they pass down science through these stories, man. I'm just speaking on the astrological interpretation. There's multiple interpretations, but they're all existing at the same time.
An initiate. A carrier of knowledge, not just a witness. But that was a problem. Because a woman holding spiritual authority? A woman with direct access to the teachings? That wasn't going to fly in the growing power structure of the early church. So the narrative was flipped, and her character was demolished. And here's the historical fact that most people still don't know. The identification of Mary Magdalene as a prostitute didn't appear in the biblical text.
Don't forget the moon goes from house to house. The moon changes house every 2.5 days. Boom, I'm in this house, this house, this house, this house. So in that regard, it can be considered, a hoe because it's going from house to house. You never heard that interpretation, huh? The moon, Magdalene, magnet, magnetize. Feminine is magnetic. Men is electric. Male is electricity. Feminine is magnetism. Electricity, magnetism. Mary Magdalene. Magnets to pull.
It was a decision made by a pope. In 591 AD, Pope Gregory I gave a sermon that merged multiple
credit. I have to give credit to Santos Bonacci because that's where I learned that from.
Female figures in the Gospels, Mary of Bethany, the unnamed sinful woman, and Mary Magdalene, into a single person, labeling her a former prostitute. No source text, no scholarly argument, just a political move cloaked in theological language. That sermon stuck for over 1,000 years. That's how easy it was to rewrite perception. One speech, and an entire legacy was buried. But the buried texts tell a different story. The Gospel.
Yes, it is also a town. You're right, Quadja. It's everything at once.
Gospel of Mary, unearthed in the late 19th century and suppressed ever since, shows us who she really was. In that text, it's not Peter, it's not John, it's not James who receives the inner teachings, it's her. Mary is the one Christ trusts with the knowledge the others couldn't handle. The disciples question her authority, not because she lacks wisdom, but because she threatens their hierarchy. Peter literally says, "Did he really speak to a woman in private and not openly to us?" That's not scripture, that's a power struggle. She wasn't a follower. She was central. She wasn't passive. She was initiatic. She understood the teachings not just on a surface level, but through direct experimental knowledge, what the Gnostics called gnosis.
Oh,
she grasped the metaphysics,
hold up.
the structure of the soul.
Ben Frank just said marry age. Marry age, marriage. That was from Ben Frank right there in the chat. Shout out to Ben Frank. Marry age, marriage. Ooh.
Oh, the nature of liberation. That's why her gospel was suppressed. It wasn't just about her gender. It was about what she knew. She didn't promote worship, she promoted understanding. She didn't echo dogma, she broke it. And don't kid yourself, this wasn't an isolated incident. It was part of a broader purge. The Gnostic texts that survived barely make it clear that Mary represented something that the institutional church couldn't afford to preserve, a direct line to gnosis without clerical mediation. A woman in possession of that level of knowledge was a direct threat to the architecture of control.
Which was a patriarchy.
So they stripped her of her voice, her role, and her dignity, and replaced it with a caricature.
They suppressed the divine feminine. And we need both. But back then, they didn't give the women's rights at all. They really, you know what I'm saying? You already know this, though. But they really suppressed the divine feminine. And didn't even, really cherish the sacred masculine either. But, that's where the ego was taking control.
Even the titles apostle to the apostles wasn't given by modern revisionists, it was used by early Christians who recognized that she held insight none of the male disciples did. She wasn't a footnote. She was the foundation of an alternative current of thought that prioritized inner experience over institutional obedience. You've heard the word thrown around, Gnosis. People treat it like some vague spiritual buzzword, like it's interchangeable with belief or faith. It's not. Gnosis has nothing to do with belief. It's not a doctrine, it's not a ritual, and it's not a religious affiliation. It's a functional term. It describes a specific kind of internal process. And what most people don't realize is that across different sources, texts, traditions, schools, Gnosis is defined in 3 different ways. But here's the catch, they're not different at all. They're just 3 angles of the same structure. 3 ways of describing the same mechanism that operates underneath all the surface noise. The first definition, direct experimental knowledge of the divine.
Boom. They just showed a guy meditating. And that's what a lot of this comes down to. Jay Bland in the chat says, if you want to talk to God, just talk to God. You do not need an intermediary. Yeah. So much text is telling us to meditate. It all comes down to meditation and being one with your thoughts and like turning off the thoughts and being still and all that. But, you know, we're getting hit with the same message metaphorically with so many stories and angles.
That sounds abstract, but it's not. It means accessing awareness without intermediaries.
Oh, he just said the exact word. Wait a minute. Is he listening to the same video? He just said the exact same word for word. Okay, I'm sorry.
No priest, no sacred building, no sacrament. No external authority required. It's the capacity to interface with reality without needing permission from a system. This isn't about mystical visions or voices in your head, it's about a shift in perception. A cognitive break from the programmed lens. You stop interpreting the world through filters someone else gave you, and you start seeing through it yourself. That's Gnosis. Second definition, remembering your origin. That doesn't mean fairy tale mythology about heaven. It means pulling back the curtain on your internal structure and real.
Boom, meditation again. They keep showing these very well done AI photos. But there's a reason why they're showing the meditation again. You know, take a look at all the symbolism.
Realizing that your conscious identity is not native to the material system. It's foreign. It's invasive in the best way. The Gnostic texts are loaded with this framework. You didn't evolve here. You didn't emerge from mud. You were dropped into this system, embedded with a foreign spark that doesn't belong to the architecture around it. That's why you feel the tension. That's why none of this ever fits. Gnosis, in this sense, is the act of waking up to the fact that your essence is from a higher order, and everything here is trying to make you forget it.
Yeah. You're a divine being. All of you are divine, but so many don't even realize it because we're so distracted. And I don't got to give you the examples because you already know. A lot of you already know this though.
Third definition,
Oh, and one more thing. I like dude Jamai's on a roll today. He says meditation isn't only sitting either. Yeah. Okay.
liberation through recognition of illusion. This is where people get uncomfortable because it directly challenges the idea that the world is inherently meaningful. Gnosis isn't about Eastern mysticism and Gnostic cosmology were never primitive.
My bad.
They were never backwards.
Damn cat. Okay, we're right here. I recognize the background.
Attention. That's why none of this ever fits. Gnosis, in this sense, is the act of waking up to the fact that your essence is from a higher order, and everything here is trying to make you forget it. Third definition, liberation through recognition of illusion. This is where people get uncomfortable because it directly challenges the idea that the world is inherently meaningful. Gnosis isn't about escaping the world physically. It's about recognizing that most of what you've been taught to value is status, roles, titles, structures, is manufactured garbage. It's scaffolding built on false premises. Gnosis is the process of identifying the artificial layers and stripping them away. Not by running from them, but by decoding them. Once you decode the illusion, it stops running you. And that's liberation, not because you've achieved something, but because you've dismantled the mechanism that was holding you in place to begin with. Now, most people try to separate these definitions like they're different schools of thought. But they're not. They're steps in a single operation. You access direct experience, you realize your origin, you decode the structure, and you're not the same after that. The texts didn't give you 3 types of gnosis for variety, they gave you multiple entry points. Different access routes into the same system.
Okay, hold on. That is really key right there. There's multiple ways to get there. And we know one of them's meditation. We know another one is theogens, also known as mushrooms, ashwagandha, all that. That's another road, which not everybody should take, but that's another road to get there. And if you haven't done mushrooms, or if you have done mushrooms, you already know what I'm talking about. But there's also music. I'm just going to say that good music is a road also. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Most people still operate with a kindergarten-level model of reality. They think there's body, and then there's soul, and maybe, if you push them, a vague idea of spirit floating around somewhere up there. That's it. That's the framework they've been fed.
Yo, Priest is on it too. He's right. He says color tones, cartoons, her name is Melody, feeling hurts. Exactly.
But anyone who's actually studied Hermetic thought knows it's way more structured than that. You're not dealing with a 2-layer system. You're dealing with states of matter operating across a multi-tiered energetic spectrum, not just physical, but psycho-spiritual. And once you see the structure, you realize just how crude the modern interpretation has become. In Hermeticism, matter isn't just dirt and atoms. It's the densest frequency of expression. It's a state, not a substance. What you call the physical body is just the outermost compression of energy that descends from more refined forms. That's not spiritual metaphor. That's energy theory before quantum field language existed. The ancients mapped it out in terms of density, vibration, and function, and they didn't confuse soul with spirit because they understood that these are entirely different operational systems. Spirit is not the same as soul. That's the first thing you need to drop. In Hermetic tradition, spirit is the initiating impulse, the direct projection of source intelligence. It's the spark, the directive, the pure, non-local, indivisible force that moves down the chain of manifestation. It doesn't belong to the body, and it doesn't evolve with it. It's foreign to this plane. Spirit animates, but it does not get entangled. Now soul, that's the interface. That's where it gets complex. The soul is the mediator, the translator between spirit and form.
Whoa.
It holds memory, identity, sensation, and psychological architecture. It's layered. It's mutable. It's the programmable operating system that bridges higher and lower states. That's why the soul can be fractured, manipulated, or degraded, because it's adaptable. It's responsive to structure, to trauma, to manipulation.
Whoa, hold on. I gotta digest this. That makes a lot of sense. Spirit and soul are 2 different things. Spirit is the spark. The soul is like the infrastructure. That's like the computer. But you can mess up your computer. You gotta keep that soul at a high frequency. And in this world, man, yo, that's a really good way to put it. I need to clip that. Okay, hold on.
And that's exactly what gets hijacked in most systems of control. Matter, soul, and spirit form a triadic architecture, a structural code that governs how consciousness expresses in form. Hermeticism breaks this down with surgical precision. Matter is receptive, spirit is projective, and the soul is reflective.
Whoa.
That's
okay, hold on. Oh, damn. This is new for me, y'all. I'm sorry. I like the way this is being broken down. Like, my mind was able to kind of interpret this before I heard it, but hearing it in this way, it's a lot more clear. I'm going to bring it back a little bit. Hold on.
Or degraded because it's adaptable. It's responsive to structure, to trauma, to manipulation. And that's exactly what gets hijacked in most systems of control. Matter, soul, and spirit form a triadic architecture, a structural code that governs how consciousness expresses in form. Hermeticism breaks this down with surgical precision. Matter is receptive, spirit is projective, and the soul is reflective.
Matter's projective, spirit is receptive, and soul is reflective.
Hermeticism breaks this down with surgical precision. Matter is receptive.
Okay, matter is receptive. Spirit projects.
Spirit is projective, and the soul is reflective.
And the soul is, okay, yeah, because the soul is reflecting what it's feeling. It's like the subconscious.
That's not symbolism. That's function. And when this system gets inverted, when matter starts dictating the terms, when spirit is silenced and soul is overwhelmed, you get exactly what you're seeing in the world today, a full-spectrum disconnection. Not a spiritual crisis. A mechanical breakdown in the interface. Hermetic teachings weren't philosophical daydreams. They were operational manuals. The states of matter described in these systems go far beyond what modern materialist science is even willing to admit exists. You have etheric matter, astral substance, mental fields.
Priest says some live in apps apartments. Y'all understand that? It's like rather than living in the full computer, some are living in the app. We'll bring it back a little bit. I did not know we were going this deep today. I don't even smoke anymore.
Hermetic teachings weren't philosophical daydreams. They were operational manuals. The states of matter described in these systems go far beyond what modern materialist science is even willing to admit exists. You have etheric matter, astral substance, mental fields, levels of density and energy that operate beneath the radar of conventional instruments but are foundational to how you even function as a sentient being. You want to know why consciousness doesn't fit inside a brain scan? Because you're not built from biology alone. The brain is a relay point, not a generator. It processes input from the energetic body, the soul, and the...
That's why he said earlier that we're transistors. It's like a radio. The radio isn't making the music. The radio is just a transistor for you, for the music to come in and then out into the world. The radio is not making the music. You know what I'm saying? And we're walking around with a bunch of radios thinking that those thoughts are ours. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're like transistors. Man. 99 Camp, you may not have to quit. I'm not saying weed is bad. I just had to take a break for a little bit because it's being hijacked by the Matrix. They changed it. I'm not going to go into that right now, but I'm not trying to say everyone should quit weed because that might be part of your path. And I'm actually very thankful for when I did have a lot of like epiphanies when I was on it. So don't get me wrong. I'm just a student like everyone else. I had to quit because it's just too damn strong around here. I can't get the OG stuff. Yeah, but y'all get it. Looking at the chat, y'all get it. Okay, I'm gonna bring it back. Priest told me to bring it back.
Because you're not built from biology alone. The brain is a relay point, not a generator. It processes input from the energetic body, the soul, and the impulse behind that input comes from spirit. That's the hierarchy. That's the stack. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Let's push this conversation where most people aren't willing to go, because surface-level interpretations of Gnosticism don't cut it anymore. The moment you actually study what the texts are describing, not in metaphor, not in religious abstraction, but in structural terms, you realize they were outlining something far more advanced. The pleroma wasn't some spiritual Disneyland in the sky.
Pleroma.
It was a field. A totality. A pre-material, pre-form, fully integrated system of intelligent energy, exactly what modern physics is starting to circle around with its theories of unified fields, zero-point energy, and non-local consciousness. But here's the part no one tells you: Gnosis was never just about mystical experiences. It was a form of intelligent interface with this field. The pleroma isn't something you go to after death, it's the architecture that underlies everything before the distortion. Gnostic texts describe it in layers, eons, emanations, hierarchies of consciousness, not gods, not angels, but structural differentiations of energy nested within a coherent source. That's not faith language. That's systems theory with symbolic encoding. When you read the Apocryphon of John, or the Tripartite Tractate, or even the Gospel of Truth, you're looking at maps. Not visions. Maps of how reality devolves from source coherence into fragmentation. The pleroma represents the original field state, where no separation, no opposition, no conflict exists. It's the 0 point. The singularity before duality. And once that field fractures, once a false construct like the demiurge tries to assert independent authorship, entropy enters the system. Duality forms. Polarity dominates. The copy tries to override the original. This is where esoteric speculation matters. Not because it's entertaining, but because it forces you to reframe everything you've been taught about consciousness, form, and reality. The pleroma, in this framework, isn't heaven, it's source code. A perfectly integrated information field where spirit and intelligence are indistinguishable. The soul, when untangled from material distortion, reconnects with that field, not through faith, not through belief, but through recalibration. That's what Gnosis actually is. Not enlightenment. Not salvation. Reintegration with source-level coherence. That's the real threat to institutional systems, because once a person realigns with the pleroma, they don't play the game anymore. And don't make the mistake of thinking this is abstract philosophy. The implications are real. If the world you perceive is operating on a fragmented field, an imitation of unity, then everything built on it is inherently flawed. Social systems, economic structures, thought patterns, even scientific models, they're all running on broken architecture. That's why nothing feels whole. That's why nothing ever truly satisfies. Because it's disconnected from its original signal. Gnosis doesn't just tell you that. It shows you how to track it, how to trace it, and how to move outside of it. You weren't meant to just live inside the construct. You were meant to question it. You were meant to investigate the machinery beneath what looks like reality. That's the point of these texts. Not blind devotion, strategic decoding. That's what the ancients tried to hand us. And that's what the institutions buried. So if you followed this all the way through, I appreciate it, seriously. These are not light topics. They require attention, patience, and the courage to unlearn a lot of what's been drilled into us from day one. But if you've made it this far, it means you're not here for surface-level comfort, you're here to understand what's under the surface. Thanks for watching. Thanks.
Yo. Priest is not just showing us some random video, man. All of this is correlated. All of this is on purpose. All of this has intention. Priest is not just launching regular music, if y'all don't already know. There's like hidden meanings in just the titles in the albums in the words. In a way, Priest is also a transistor. How he's receiving it, he has the gift. Priest has the gift. But the fact that it's led you guys here and it has brought on such profound minds, I think is the gift. You know what I mean? Because if knowledge is power, I mean, we're all kind of getting a little bit of power. Power. Okay, let's look at these. Let's look at the chat. Because that's where it's at. Let me fix my lighting here too while we do this. Wow, a lot of stuff going on. Man, the chat's lighting up. Okay, what are we talking about? Just a new good job. Okay, so you're going through something. Okay. Yep. Yep, tax dollars. 99 Cam says that video went hard. Clearamids, Stepdog says. I'm with you, 99 Cam 1. And I agree. But I think if used with intention at the right time, it can be useful. Just, you're right, not every day. Priest says Vedic Vape Room. Yeah, man. What do you guys think about all of this? Have you guys looked up what the pleroma is? Greg Kelly says, I just submitted a beat that Abraxas would love. All right, where did you submit it? Is that in the song promotions? It's all control over narratives. Religious fanatics most dangerous. Yeah, because they've been misled, right? Or they may have been. It depends on how they're interpreting. You know, you're supposed to be your own minister. All the answers are within. The kingdom of God is within you. Remember that? I'll pull that on the screen. Because that was an Egyptian proverb. Green. This is what's interesting right here. Just the... Nope. So this is an Egyptian proverb that came around before the Bible. A lot of you already know this. And ultimately, I believe this is one of the main key points that's being expressed in most biblical texts. But don't forget, this is an Egyptian proverb. It says, the kingdom of heaven is within you, and whoever shall know himself shall find it. So it's key that you know thyself. You know? And if it's through astrology, so be it. You know what I mean? If that's what it takes for you to really know yourself, know your chart, know who you are, know what makes you tick. That's one method. If it doesn't have to be astrology. If it's through just self interpretation and self-study and meditation, and you really get to know yourself, know how you are, know how your mind works. Once you have control of that, then you're in more control of your ego, your desires. How many of y'all seen that Lucifer TV show? I bet a lot of you haven't. It's actually a good show. But if you've seen that Lucifer TV show, Lucifer always asks, what is it that you desire? What are your desires? You know what I mean? He kind of hypnotizes people when he asks that. And it's interesting that is a key word for something, because our desires can sway us away from source. Right? Jody saw it. How great was that show, Jody? It was so good. You got to get past what you think you're watching. Like, oh, is this some devil TV show? I'm not gonna watch no devil TV. Just give it a shot because they do a really good job on showing things. Yes, it's inaccurate. Technically, Lucifer is a female. Technically, it's Lucy. Technically, it's Venus. If you want to get more technical. But this show is interesting. It's cool, and you'll enjoy it. But yeah, he always points out your desires, and that's something that seems to be a thing that we can be led astray with, if you will. You know, that's why, like, you know, I've gone back and forth with the whole talking to vegetarians versus carnivores thing. And we also got into it a little bit talking about, I think somebody here was talking about testosterone with weed and all that. There's a balance there, and there's an imbalance when something is in excess, I think. You know what I mean? Y'all know what's up after you've had a steak, how you feel. You know what I mean? I think you know where I'm getting at. But man, can you be distracted, especially in today's world, man? We can get, you know, the impulses take over. And then, yeah, I think you know where I'm getting at. Like, it can lead you astray. You know what I'm saying? But then there's also something about vegetarianism and the avoiding meat thing too, because I mean, I've experimented with both, you know, and it really kind of calms you down, pulls you back, kind of makes you reflect inward. You're less trying to go out and smash, you know what I'm saying? You're like just a little bit more inward thinking. I get it, and you're kind of, as some would say, that's less distracted. You know? So you got to find your balance. You know what I'm saying? If you're with your lady and you're trying to procreate, that's different. You know what I mean? If you're trying to do that in that regard, you just got to know where you stand, where you're at, and be aware of what's affecting you and what's distracting you, you know? None of us are perfect, but I think so much can be controlled. We got to be careful with the food, man. I was doing 4 eggs a day for a minute. And man, you feel good. 4 eggs a day? You know, I mean, especially for me, that was felt pretty powerful for a minute. You know what I'm saying? But it'll make you want to procreate. I'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, y'all get it. Finding balance. I think everyone's different. Everyone needs to find their balance. Okay. He says, Mr. Kidman. Food says, just need a wife with yams, otherwise single life. Go for it. That's funny, man. Some candied yams. Yo, I use this thing to measure food called Chronometer. I don't know if you guys know about chronometer.com. Like, you punch in your food and like what you ate for the day, it'll tell you what vitamins were in it, what you're deficient in, the RDA and all that, blah blah blah. And it's amazing how hard it is to hit your potassium for the day. You know what I'm saying? And I noticed that. I'm like, man, I've been eating this. I've been having like low potassium every day. Not much avocados, not much potatoes. You know what I mean? And orange juice only has so much potassium. So I remember, you know, not getting 100% sleep. Like, I would sleep good, but like, I don't know, something was not right. Then I started adding potatoes to my dinners, yo. And I'm like, let me try to up my potassium a little bit. Something silly, like, and it seems silly, right? Like that's no big deal, right? But as soon as I started eating potatoes, like along with my meals, and I saw that, you know, I'm hitting at least 70% of my potassium for the RDA. Feeling good, man. Sleeping better. Feeling more refreshed, more of an upbeat attitude. I don't know. And I'm like, maybe it's the potatoes. Maybe it's because I increased my potassium. Maybe I just needed more electrolytes. You know, maybe the coffee and the Coca-Cola wasn't the problem so much by itself, but it was the fact that it was depleting my minerals. You might be losing potassium. You might be losing your magnesium. You might be draining it out. Not because coffee is bad or because Coca-Cola is bad by itself. I mean, it kind of is in different ways, but that can deplete minerals if you're not refilling your potassium, for example, or your magnesium. If you get low in that stuff, you ain't gonna feel right, and you're gonna blame other things. So it's just a biological situation. Yeah, look into Dr. Sebi. I hear you. No, I got my my CMOS and all that. I'm getting most of them, but it's, you know, you still have to hit your potassium. You know what I mean? At least get close, and your calcium and all that stuff. This is just an example. I'm just speaking on the idea of tracking your biology and being self-aware of your intake of things. It goes beyond diet. You can also talk about what you watch, you know, the music you listen to. All of that is what you're intaking, you know. But like I said, I'm just here speaking as a student, like anybody else. I'm just sharing what I know and have learned as just another person. You know what I'm saying? Quaja Rakib says, Priest, you surprise. Okay, hold on. Y'all coming in with the chats. You surprised me, the words, you know, but then again, I ain't surprised. I listen to your words and music. Yeah, with a lot of Priest songs, you got to go back and hear it again. It's like a good movie. You got to go back and rewatch it and re-listen to it because there might be details you didn't see. Sebi said, no bread, no sugar, no blood. Wow. I mean, technically, we could talk about the sugar because I still eat white rice. I'll always have white rice. But, you know, that's like the wild card. You know what I mean? You got to know how much white rice to have. That's technically sugar, but you're talking about refined, I'm sure. We got someone named the Bean Team. I drink black coffee. Them milkshakes people call coffee as technology. Yeah, no, coffee is great. It has a lot of metabolic boosting properties. It actually helps you with your magnesium. I could talk all day about how great coffee is. It boosts your dopamine, which technically is a precursor to boosting your testosterone. There's a lot of great things about coffee. But if you don't have a good enough diet to back it up, because it's increasing your adrenal glands and increasing your cortisol, if you're not getting the rest of the minerals in your body to be able to handle the caffeine, then you can have some side effects. But if you're a healthy person and you're eating right, and you're able to handle the benefits of coffee, then you're set. Let's see. Brown rice tastes like toothpicks. Yeah, I wouldn't do brown rice. It's got more arsenic and it's a little bit tougher to digest. They say white rice is better because it'll help you boost your metabolism too, and you want to stay insulin sensitive, you know. I mean, it's like the most widely used starch. Hybrid Cypher says, serious question. Has any ever feel like they're in a mood where they don't want to listen to music for a while? Like too much music is making your life feel, yeah, 100%. Bro, I'm a DJ. And right now I'm DJing 5 times a week. And there's a lot of times where I don't want to hear any of the, you know, what I'm playing, but it's like I enter this zone in my head where I'm not even listening, technically. Like I'm playing the music, but I'm not really listening to the music. And on the way home from DJing, I'm not playing anything. Like no, like just driving home in silence. So I can agree to that, but also depends on what kind of music you're listening to. You got to be aware of it. There's a time and place for everything. There's even a time and place for some of the not so conscious music. Let's just say there's a time and place for it, depending on your mood and what's going on. What, you know, you in the gym, what you doing. Time and place for everything. But y'all already know. If you're on this channel, you already know what good music is because you know Killah Priest. Let's say Ben Frank says Ghostface Coffee. Yes, shout out to Ghostface and Ghostface Coffee. We had the pleasure of having his coffee right here on the show. We still have some. But yeah, if you guys are interested in checking out Ghostface Coffee, check that out. I believe it's, check out the site. Yeah, Killah Coffee with a K. KillahCoffee.com if you guys are interested in Ghostface Coffee. Yeah, I'm not knocking it. I just need to be careful with it. But that's just me. The Bean Team says Chinese been eating white rice and living a long time. Yep. I'm sure other things help longevity too. Yeah, it's just a contributing factor. You know? Jamai says all words are trying to drive the same meaning home anyways. Yeah. It was interesting how that video was talking about how the Bible's been messed with so much, you know? Kurt Cobain says, at Killah Priest, that's what I listen to on my way to work and home, my heart. Quadra says, yes, I get sick of everything. Like every 3 weeks, them listen podcasts and something good and new come out and moves me again, podcast aside again, weeks later. Yeah. You know, I think it's important to have your playlist set, whether you're using Spotify or Tidal or even YouTube or SoundCloud, is respect your playlist. Go into your playlist and take out whatever songs you're over. Notice what songs do what to you. You know what I mean? And have a separate playlist. You should have a playlist for the car. You should have a playlist for on the way to the gym. You should have a playlist for when you're trying to chill out. You should have a playlist for when you're going into work mode. You know what I'm saying? Create your playlist. It's very important because you know how some songs will have you in a whole other vibration. I don't got to tell you that. But if you organize that playlist in advance, you should be able to go into your car, boom, driving playlist, go. Or like I'm going to the gym, boom, gym playlist, go. You don't want to be sitting there like on the way to the gym and you're listening to a podcast about, you know, some BS or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Because then you're not going to be in the same zone as you would have been if you had put on that gym playlist. And for everybody, everyone's going to have their own, whatever songs does that for you. For me, it's Pantera. I like Pantera. That gets me going. Fear Factory. A lot of rock stuff. If y'all follow me on Instagram, you know I like hip-hop and rock. But I know what it does to me, and I try to use it sparingly. Just like I know when to use coffee. I know when to use cannabis, which is sparingly. I know when to use sugar. I know when to use, you know, everything. But it takes a while to master all that. Everything is a drug in that regard. Even the white rice is going to be a drug because you got to refill your glycogen after the gym. After you hit the gym and you hit the weights, time for white rice and protein of your choice. Anyway. Okay, Jamai says processed music is bad for your health. Yeah, man, that's fast food music. There's a lot of fast food music out there, man. You turn on the radio, it's going to be mostly fast food music. It's good for now. You know what I mean? It seems everyone's into it right now. This is the new jam right now. It's some fast food music. But it's not a home-cooked meal. Killah Priest giving you home-cooked music. Food says older heads get into jazz. Yeah, man. Jazz is, it's the musician's music. You know, if you appreciate jazz and you're not a musician, that's interesting. You probably have a very eccentric mind and probably have the ability to be a musician too, because it's very technical. And it's very abstract, especially when you go into the 9s and the 13s on the keys. Because blues will take you up to the 7s. If you know music, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know music, I'm talking about like the scales. There's 1, 3, 5, and 7s. Rock music goes usually to 1, 3, 5. Blues goes into 1, 3, 5, 7. And sometimes rock does too. Once you go into jazz, you go into 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 13, and beyond. As far as the scales go, which makes it really more like, whoa, this is some out there stuff, but it's relaxing. The mind is able to interpret music in its own style, even classical music. You notice how strings and Mozart and Beethoven have a certain effect on you? David Blazer is talking about beats, not the music beats, but actual beats. B-E. Priest loves beats. I know, right? And I'm talking about both styles, B-E-A-T and B-E-E-T. I got mad beats, but I also consume beats. Beats activates your natural nitrates for cardio energy, cleaning the blood and opening artery. Yeah. And Priest pointed out that beet juice is very similar to blood as far as its, texture and all that. 99 Cam says nothing like perfect silence. Yeah. I mean, how many times have you been in complete silence and you have a whole song going on in your head? And you can hear the whole song, like the instrument, like as if though you're hearing it for yourself, like the song is being played in your head. It just sucks when it's a song you don't want to listen to, but it's stuck in your head. Nitric oxide, yep. Food says, let the music take control. Just don't let the evildoers abuse it and use it to take your soul. Okay. Okay. Yeah. That was a good video. Yo, Jamai talking about Urban Plates. I've been there, man. It's a good spot. If y'all don't know about Urban Plates, check it out online. See if there's one near you. It's pretty clean food. Urban Plates had a fire veggie beet bowl. Yeah. I usually get the grass-fed. But I'm getting more on chicken now because I want more lean sources. I'm kind of going more low fat lately. And because I'm increasing carbs. You know what I'm saying? So I want to like lower fat a little bit, increase the carbs just so that there's a little bit more energy. Metabolic priming, if y'all don't know about that. Radio mind program, modes of modes. Yeah, nitric oxide, man, which is great for rising to the occasion, if you will. Anyway, okay. So that was a really great video that Priest had submitted for us to play on the show. I'm gonna have to go back and check that out. I'm gonna actually give the credits for what we just saw there, because legally, it's a good idea. You know what I'm saying? Okay, hold up. Okay, so that video was called Gnostic Lore, Abraxas, Mary Magdalene, Quantum Sophia, the Abracipha of John, and its parallels. So first I'm going to like it, and then I'm going to put the link to that in the description so that y'all can check that out. I'm also going to put it in the chat. Okay, so there's the link to that video. There, and we want to give credit. I want to give credit to that YouTuber. That's what we do when we play videos. The YouTube channel we played that video from was called Bible Story. And y'all can check that out through the link I'm putting in the description. So we're just trying to show some YouTube etiquette so that when we play a video on YouTube, we give credit to the creator. That's how we do. We follow all the rules. We're good people. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I feel like I needed that video. Okay, so this was the video presented in this episode. Alright, so y'all can check that out. Alright, let's go back to the main screen. Alright, let me see. Let me see how many we got. Let me see how many we got. 1 second. Yeah, Hybrid Cypher. I know what you mean. There's something about the protein boost when you just have chicken. I'm not having like legs or thighs or wings. I'm just having chicken breasts. The breastises. I'm having the chicken breastises. Shredded. I have a chicken shredder. It just boosts. It boosts your B vitamins, and it's a good solid protein hit. Maybe like a 1/3 pound for lunch, even if you're making a chicken sandwich. Yeah, I do feel more solid. You know what I mean? Elderberry, according to David Blazer, is rich in antioxidants more than blueberries. And Pone's butt actually is okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, man. Jay Bland says the breast area is the best area. Yeah, man. Okay. That's that for that. Let's see. Priest says play Pleroma. Let's do it. We're going to do a little MTV spot right now and play some Pleroma.
Fire worshippers, Abraham followed Abraxas, Sax, priests, honorable and hollow words. Same word, sages of the ages, and prophets, Coptic, Gnostics, and apostles heard. And those sinning unfinished, now it's written in the ribbon, and held by 4 swallow birds. Beneath Abraxas practice, in the blackness, seance, each one of my classics. Burn a candle to Anu with bottled myrrh, and Quetzalcoatl and herbs. Priest the novel and the marble been her. A gold icon of Basilides of Alexandria. They sold to Italy from a palace out in Zambia. Stole from Sicily, Africa towers over Pangea. Amateur, reaching for my Pleroma. Deep sleep and yoga. Psyches like the Pisces of Jonah. Tertullian, till I get the nutrients and come out of Nubian. I'm not talking about the ancient Natufians or hooligans when I'm putting out something new again. Let LF tell her death. Me, I'm an embellish on the angelic. Holding the mic like a relic. Last one left. Priest and purpose. Leaving footprints deep in the surface. Enough to be called a crater. Meditating in the Tibetan hall in Asia. We all evolve from nature. The ink shooting out my pen like flaming balls hitting my paper. I grab the dark horns of archons and star forms. The bars drawn to give you Mars floors to walk on. Epiphanius, Arrhenius, Hippolytus, sit by fire. Different writers sniffing coke. Who's the most highest? Baptizer, Holy Ghost. Santa Morte, Bantam and all gray. Stands in the hallway, head of a ram, put hands on your grave. Purpose, let the chords play. Priest never had an off day. Never let my sword lay, so all pray. Work from the bottom like Noah. Meditate, I slip into a coma till I reach my Pleroma.
Yeah, buddy. I like that. Fire's in the chat. We got 55 people up in here. Greg Kelly says, too much knowledge, the best. Yeah, man, that's good stuff. You'll see a lot of the videos on YouTube when you type in Abraxas. A lot of posts. The Walking Life featuring solo gems. Y'all have seen that. Sacred Grounds. Yeah. All right, now we're going to play Winged People 3.
men build. See a sphinx from the ink my pen spilled. Auric fills, links with the Torah and 4 of the seals. Then 3 more revealed. That makes 7 the heavens. Broke open with omens, peasants begging the savages. Chariots, horses and wheels. Over corpses left in the hills. Is in Lil Shaitan, the serpent administrator to Israel. Was Enkidu the one with the fruit that spoke in Hebrew? Or was he Jesus too? Trees in the garden was 2. Was the oldest teacher Sophia? Ishtar, Easter, reminisce, the feminine. Stars over Giza, the power of the ether. Tiamat, the rulers with the G on top. The woman has a G-spot, the skeleton key unlocks. Who spoke to Moses as the burning bush? Mistaken as a pharaoh, so that confirmed his looks. The beginning of these pharaohs, a lot concerning Cush. Who's this person in the book? His brothers was Mizraim, Canaan, and Put. Mizraim became the land of black soot, or bitterman. Became Kemet throughout millenniums. Gideons to the Bosnians, tribe Bobs and Indians. From the Americans, our true inheritance. Lajit with the seraphims. Concerning Canaan, Naphtali explaining. She's like the X-File in training. A death trial and arraignment. When they buried the Nazarene, after 3 days, he rose and exposed himself to Mary Magdaline. Task force to cross skull and bones and blasphemy. Killah Priest, the unknown source, Abraxas king. In the craft for, of course, taking the path unseen, but never lost, using my thoughts to make my math supreme. With the atom beam made of quartz, cloudy, I had it clean. They asked me, what's the meaning of Rebus? Is it a demon or secret? Romulus or Remus? Once bondage and once free with itself and bonded with kingship. The beast lurks amongst the nation's majority. USA means under Satan's authority. Morally, they try to do Walter Reed horribly. Brainwash his queen, bring the Starseed prophecy. Return of the reign of King Abu Shuma Ishkum, descendant of Nakuru, the princess of the voodoo. Babylon's new kings rule part 2. Hieroglyphs, myth of Adapa. Sit with the scholars, scripts of Kabbalah. Sister Tala gifted with powers. They said, how does he exist? It is different from ours. The beast is coming. Some at the summit submitting to Allah. Quran and bleeding palms. Some with the Bible reading Psalms. Disciples and their rivals squeezing arms. Egyptian book of the dead. The beast looking through 7 heads. Tribulation, revelation, the great dragon is red. All flesh will cook from a beach is what John said. The globe spinning wobbly. UFOs, Anunnakis, soul from bodies. Code of Hammurabi. Sumerian tablets. Hamlet, Numerian magic. Barbarian axis. Atlantis sunk in our planet. Shiva, Bhagavad Gita. Blocks for the readers. Mosques for the seekers. Synagogues for the leaders. The cow and bull in the midst of the clouds stood a man called the Lamb, clothed with the rainbow, holding the Talmud. Mahabharata, copper, serpents and nagas, Dalai Lamas, virgins, turbans and mantras. Unholy sermons while the servants worship the monster. The Indian invaders meditating when we in nature. Then I put my pen to paper, then descended to vapor. Only to be heard through wind and smelled through savors. And felt through gins and cells that labor. Recognized through spells and wise tales from neighbors. King Hezekiah destroyed a winged serpent of fire. Angelic creatures described by his writers. Edom, evil empire, falls in the chapters of Obadiah. Destroyed by Jehovah Messiah. He rolls down the stream peaceful. He's from the winged people.
Yo, how you guys like that? Oh, you obviously love it. Man. Absolutely. All fires in the chat. I like that. Damn. Bragadino with the... He put all the fires. Yeah. What else? Let's see what else. Wait. Okay. Yeah, there's a Wing People 2 and a Wing People 3. Okay, making sure I had that right. Let's do ANAC. Go full screen on this one. Shout out to David Flores.
They sent the spies from the 12 tribes. They felt vibe from men whose stature was high. No lie, Joshua and Caleb reported that they saw walls with alligators and satyrs. The screech owl, men renowned, each bow. I see down above this weed cloud. I'm flying. The land's packed, the sons of Anak. Know where they camp at. A black man sat wearing a ram's hat. Demanded tax. In his sand with traps. In his hand an axe. Metal headband with cracks. His face was scratched. Shisha, Ahiman and Telma. El was their allies. Brothers that fell from high, the evil that dwell inside, the people that swell in size. 12 spies, they came to a brook where they saw a great bush. They saw grapes and took how amazing they look. The place was called Escol. Look at the death toll, so grab the grapes and let's go. The Jebusites place heads on spikes. If they see Israelites, then they're dead on sight. So they fled in the night, reporting back to Aaron and Moses about the people before Adam and their culture was the oldest. They said they heard of their grandfather Arbor, wore giant armor, defying honor, triumph and conquer. Rapha, Genesis 6, printed on bricks, Enuma Elish, the tombs of their prince, left ruins huge in the cliffs. Japheth, Ham, and Shem, Anakim, sons of God, daughters of men, they slaughter for skin. Read about them, Job chapter 1, verse 6. More verses, Job chapter 38, verse 7. There's many more sons that lurk the heavens. Look the book of Daniel chapter 3, verse 25. Wings with plenty eyes to demigods. Kings built their cities high. Ben Ha, Elohim, some say spawned from the devil genes. That's one way, but what of the Holocene? But as the days of Noah were, so shall the Son of Man supernova occur. Re-going to her, Asterith, Ishtar, and fish gods. Molech, slow death, cut the throat necks. The lamb's blood, the bull's horn, then wears the goat flesh. Goliath, the giants, the tyrants. Osiris, see the carving of Gilgamesh, that whole lion. 700,000 mail-clad horsemen and chariots of fire. 700,000 torch bearers and cross wearers. They saw seraphs, Zord shepherds, protected by cherubs. 800,000 angels with daggers of fire. 1 million slingers and shield bearers in front of messiahs. 400,000 bearers of lamps. 500,000 through the fiery axe. At the Nephilim camp, the sons of Anak. The impact took man back. The book of Numbers, ancient Cush and others. The south of Hebron, winged people before Edom. The king of Edom sits with his queen and she's blonde. Be gone, sons of Anak, near Iraq. Cross the map, they're back. But of course we're at another story. Yeah. Peace.
Man, I don't know how he does it, yo. It's like every song is a masterpiece. Straight up. It's a challenge to quote and recite unless you really know the track well. It can be a challenge to memorize a lot of that. Man. Yeah. Kirk O'Bang says, I'm man, UL. David Blazer says, this is my favorite in recent years. David Flores and King Priest came with tablets of gold and threw it down. Dank Boy says, you need to learn how to master peace. Yeah, man. Older I get, the more I see how important peace of mind is. You know what I mean? You could set yourself up for unnecessary anxiety in so many ways. but the peace of mind is just more worth it. You know, when you're younger, you're a lot more reckless. And as you get older, you start to be less reckless just because it's like you start to realize, hey, like, got to be careful, man. Like, whether it's you or your friends, you see how recklessness can take a toll. So it's like you see the importance of peace of mind. Want peace of mind? Here's a peace of mind. Fire. We're doing a song promotion segment real soon, y'all. A lot of y'all asked about me doing a beat on the show. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually working on my YouTube channel to be doing stuff like that. So I used to do that on Priest's show when he wasn't here every now and then, as I'd make a beat live. But I think that would be more appropriate for me to do on my channel. So if y'all don't follow me on YouTube yet, y'all better. I got a YouTube channel. It's actually where I host the Pyramids video. If you haven't seen that yet. But yeah, you could just type in AD Ross on the on your YouTube. You're gonna see me right there with my usual logo. So y'all make sure you go to my channel and hit subscribe. You'll see all my stuff there. But I'm gonna be doing some live stuff every now and then. I'll also be posting some things where I make a beat live and everything. So y'all will be able to see me doing all of that there. I don't want to do that here without Priest here, because I'm actually looking to do a thing where I'm gonna be getting one of these NPCs. It's like a controller NPC, and I'll be able to make drums live like I do with my other keyboard with Priest here.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in the building.
What's cracking?
Everything.
There he is.
Yep. You see me, I'm in the port, man. In the port.
Yes, sir.
Traveling around. I can see all the people.
Yep.
Hold
on. Abraxas. Tell us what the facts is.
Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I like that. See, I was kind of feeling that documentary, huh?
Man, that was a good find.
Slow. Yeah.
That was
I
very.
got in the stash. I got a couple in the stash.
I liked it. I learned a few things off of that.
Oh yeah, no doubt. What you learn?
I like how it talked about how the spirit projects and the soul reflects.
There you go.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, there you go.
I like how it talked about that, the difference between the soul and the spirit.
Right.
I think
no
that's
doubt.
That's
how it goes.
But it also makes us realize how much we have to protect our soul.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
Right.
I was saying it's like wearing all white and you're walking down like an alley, or like you're walking through like a messy area, but you're wearing all white. You want to make sure you don't get any dirt on you. I think that's like the soul.
You know what they say, kicking dirt on my name? You can take it at that level too.
Yep. That's true.
What's up? Peace to everybody on the craft.
Yes, sir.
You know what month it is?
Leo season.
Yeah, shout out to my nephew.
August starts at midnight.
Oh, yeah. And I'll be in NY, moving around.
Oh,
you know
nice.
What I'm saying? I'm in another part. Just moving around. That show's coming up.
Okay. You got a show in New York?
I have a video, and I'm hosting a show. So I'm hosting this talent show.
Okay.
So, and then I'm doing a little recording out there hopefully I can get up with purpose and finish this up and head out to Pittsburgh. Was in my plan to finish up some stuff before. I'll be seeing John Newsom out there though.
You gonna post the updates on your Instagram?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you everything that's happening. It's kind of loud right here. Let me move to another spot.
All right.
Could y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good. I'll chill. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, man. Yeah, exactly. See the Abraxas Overlord right here. Let me make this. Shout out to Underhand. Yo, Underhand Fortress. Reborn Bizzle. I'm gonna see you tomorrow too, right? Shout out to everybody up in the chat. Craft. It's just been crazy with this retrograde, right?
Yeah.
What you say we in AD?
Yeah, we talked about that in the beginning of the show, how the retrograde's crazy.
Yeah. When is Lil Da Vinci? Lil Da Vinci got a birthday coming too, right? Did it pass?
Oh, I don't know if it passed yet. I don't know. We got to find out when Lil Da Vinci's birthday is.
Exactly. Let me put this right here. Yeah, it's off the hook. Yeah, man. It was sunny too, man. Word, just moving around. But pardon me, I'm a little bit distracted, but I got it. Hold on, let me get it. Get my focus. My focus, hocus pocus. To the
Yeah.
Abraxas Overlord. We here. Abraxas Utum. That's the son of Abraxas. I spoke to Josh Bowman. Remember him?
Yeah, how's he doing?
He's good. He's going to come back to the craft, he said. I spoke to Nick. Nick said he's ready for some unbelievable stuff. So that's going to be crazy, AD. Nick and Vinny.
Oh, okay.
I spoke to Vinny yesterday too. That was good. So he said he got some unbelievable stuff, man. But you're doing a great job, AD. You holding it down, man. I like what you was building when you were stopping it. When you stopping it, you was kind of going in. I saw Knowledge Born. Shout out to Knowledge Born. Said, go in, AD. Nobody ever saw you open up like that.
I just like to share my insight and everything, just as a student. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's always the midget, the small midget that sometimes see further than the giant when they stand on their shoulder, you know. But that's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's about taking that time, accepting your role and letting the forces put you in the positions where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Let things happen naturally.
Yeah, just nature. Let nature put you in that position. Sometimes you crown with the stars. And you just be thinking like, man, I'm nobody. But you got all the right ingredients. You might have dust. You might have made up of dust from a different planet, you know, like Saturn or something, you know. And you start shining.
Yeah, the Lord of the Rings.
That's right. Lord of the Rings, War with the Kings. Shout out to you, S.L. Smith. Shout out to everybody that's in there, man. Well, right thoughts, right action. That's right. He said, "Yo, it was little." Yeah. Usually in the movies, it'd be the midget like Mr. Keebler.
Yeah.
Or it was always a little scientist, like even in the Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
He would climb up a big ladder and would stand on top of the giant.
That's me. I am the little scientist.
Yeah, you got to put the finishing touches was always at the head. So you go to the top and just screw it on.
That's what's up, man. That's true. Strong minds.
Strong mind, think alike.
Yeah. Yeah, man. We're all transistors.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It was some stuff, y'all. you were saying from off the thing. Now you got to play the joint with me and Solo Gems.
Hmm.
You know, like you said, Jim and I, we roll as twins. That was deep.
Yeah. I can't even
You gotta,
imagine the mind of a Gemini, man, because I feel like I overthink as is. But
the two fish.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
already two fish, and one of them has
Yeah.
doubt, and the other one has blind optimism. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I have a Libra.
Right.
I have a Libra rising, so I'm always sometimes slightly indecisive because I see both sides of every situation. I can understand.
Right.
I can understand the enemy, and from when they're coming from.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I have compassion,
Right.
so it's like it can be a challenge sometimes making certain decisions because I see how both can end up working.
Right. Just like you said, is this song? I forgot which one we got. I think it's Is it Transmitters? The one with me and Solo Gems when he said something about ancient thrones, or he said something like to modern day of a straightening comb. That was hard.
Mm.
So you can have jewels and everywhere, but it's like where you fit it at.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, that's a straightening combs.
Mm.
You don't think about that, but that's straightening hair from afros to straightening comb. That's what he said. Crazy.
Yeah.
That was a bar.
Yeah. Greg Kelly pointed
know?
out that Abraxas got the Gemini snake legs.
Yeah. Yeah, you got the two. Yep, exactly. That's the rebus.
Mm.
Yep, that's the rebus. If you look at the rebus was the duality of it. And the Romulus, you have rebus. That's why I asked that question. You have the Simha, right, which is the lion.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Vedic lion. So all of those codes, they came together. I could have just do what I'm doing right now, but it all makes sense when it's at the beginning. Because everybody say it'll make sense in the end. No, it made sense at the beginning. You just got to catch up.
Mm.
For real. Let's read down the lines. Let me see some of the chat room so I can say peace to them.
Can you see it? We got 72.
Like
72 in the building.
72, right? That's dope. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting from day one. Doing it up. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I see them moving. Yeah, did they have a good, interesting questions tonight?
Greg Kelly says, "Why does he have a rooster's head?" I think on the Abraxas.
Right. You got to get into it. You can take that to so many levels with the rooster, right? Because he's at the top of the morning. So the rooster also was represented with when they betrayed Christ, but that was the warning sign. He said when you hear the clock go 3 times, you're gonna know. But they had to be the whole jewel I got into that was awareness. Rooster is also symbolic to a thunderbird. You can look it up. I mean, I can go through it. But I'm glad you knew that. Now you understand when I said in Nag Hammadi. Yeah. I said from roof to fall, the rooster call. Now you can catch it. Play Nag Hammadi now. See, since y'all heard that presentation, that was kind of dope. You can go back and listen to Nag Hammadi, and then it'll make more sense to you. Yeah. The roof to floor, the rooster called out.
You want me to play it right now?
Yeah, you can play it. They'll get it now.
Here we go, Nag Hammadi.
Have you heard of Nag Hammadi? No? Let me tell you about it. The Nag Hammadi library is a collection of 13 ancient books called codices, containing over 50 texts. Texts that present a radically different view of early Christian beliefs.
During the early race, man wanted real estate, so he started to build in shape. Others started to fill.
What?
You got the one with the Kai Zodiac?
Oh, the Z mix.
Yeah, play the Z mix.
Okay.
Have you heard of Nag Hammadi? No? Let me tell you about it. The Nag Hammadi library is a collection of 13 ancient books called codices, containing over 50 texts. Texts that present a radically different view of early Christian beliefs.
During the early race, man wanted real estate, so he started building shape. Others started to fill away, though they started killing snake. Those of the worldly faith found themselves in pearly gates. Left his seat as girl inflates. Blessed he who elevates. Set the tea and meditate. Rain splash off of the stained glass. Medieval cathedrals that still stand in Spain and France. Skeleton figures how many diamonds his ring had. The courts had green grass. The hawks took spring baths. Across where kings clashed, they fought for the queen's hand. A masterpiece done by priests. Refractory property so unique. Sister goes Sophia in her holy seat. Her feet Alistair Crowley sleeps. Swear kissing Bon Jovi meet. The Greek the beast, the owl covered in rosaries. Prophetess, potions and poetry. Abraxas Reba Simha. The lion called Simba. When rhyming I'm the Templar. The troubadour make music for the temper. The rooster called for the eyes in the center. The truth is all manly home that lies within the bitch.
Stop it right
the
there.
Don't fall.
Stop it, AD. Now you can get it, right?
Okay.
Yeah, they caught it now. That's when I said the rooster call. From roof to fall, the eyes in the center. So now you get it. Word. Yep. You can let it go.
Okay.
Nuclear war that ties within the scriptures. The zodiac sign of Hitler. More than one Jack the Ripper. More than one Shakespeare. For some of the take years. The Nag Hammadi god body. That practice motionless karate. The dragon on my Vatican Armani. Nag Hammadi, Nag Hammadi. Craft I'm in, I'm mastering. The carpentry, the scaffolding. Corian stones, the cornerstones. When I grab the pen, I fall in my zone and reach the African. Plastered in the walls of Rome, the priest is practicing. The royals on the doors of the dome, pads and fabric skin. On the mountain surrounded by columns, writing my album. All alone like a minute in solemn, solving my problems. Gothic sanctuaries, a wall of St. Mary's. The Gospel of John is scary. Lately I've been drinking heavy, reading Psalms with nervous palms. Open the vote, grab my sword and my coat of arms. Murder I wrote. Nag Hammadi library.
I hear spirits unaware when they whisper. Books and steps climbing up my stairs in the mirror. Zodiac webs, but the air in a twister.
The Nag Hammadi
God body rare for the listener. Yo, Nag Hammadi, Nadi Maki crusade. Good Lord, hooks all chopping with the moon blade. 10 planets in my space, jamming when the tunes played from sampling the groove late. Acoustics, he's not in his body, but after all, he asked the all, so he's not in his body. Nag Hammadi, disagree, but really, could have Nag Hammadi's body's Zaka Karma, I'm a robbery. Nagasaki door train, Gnostic trolley, stopped his folly. I'm a turbid legend, tales were told by how to spot me. Never poke a dot on a leopard, the grand menagerie. Right before they make their next move, they say the planets watch me, follow me forever. When the camera shot me, Mandelbrot me, cosmic egg, Nog exotic beaches in the sand in Bali. Woke up a giant, lost the trees upon the land with broccoli. Y'all don't understand it probably. Kick inside the gown of Lakshmi, none could reach the ground the top and see me. And they found the mock, they found the copy, sound karate. I speaking, I found the cocky, on the clock, doom. Mask up on the ground, Gaddafi ain't.
Yo.
Yo.
He said, woke up as a giant. Thought the trees upon the planet, the trees on the planet was broccoli.
Mm.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yo.
Astronaut from Mali, get some high but not on Mali. Exercise for lottie-dottie, cars with wands. Manuscripts but couldn't hold the manuscripts of marble car. Charlemagne, Malay-Chromatic carbon. Painted me in dark bronze, apocryphon of car. Hypostasis of the archon. Delete computer cookies out the language to the jargon. Avians, Acadians,
right there.
Pragan and the Sargon.
He said archon. You see the archon? See the archons. See, that was it. You caught that, right?
Yeah.
To the knowledge. That was in that presentation that you played. The archons. Yeah, you're gonna hear a lot. The pleroma. Yeah. It's starting to come to fruition. Crazy. Go ahead.
Start calm.
That's
They got
Zodiac.
crazy up in stark calm. Intelligence that blew their brains. They say I was a smart bomb. Creation, yo, extra helio, made out of nothing. Society is fake. It's a great amount of bluffing. Ancient books looking like they just came out the oven. Yes, it gets Mars and Vegas, living water, mystic order. Yahweh ain't as cold as his. Nagamati cold as his. Lamb upon the
Hold on, you
coldest
gotta
is. The
show.
solar bridge.
You gotta show. See the books that just came, look like they just came up out the oven. I got those. We got those. Yo, shout out to everybody. I saw Char Newsom got one. Jay Bland, y'all better get them. You know what I mean? Those books look like they just came up out the oven. That was that's the burnt edges. The burnt edges in the page. They like it's like moth. Like the pages that take off, like, you know what I'm saying, they just go up.
Yeah. It was nice.
Yeah, but y'all
It is so
got that idea. That idea. But
kids to stand on top of lotuses, Bible or eyeball, lyrics in the sky wall, miracles inside Paul, my ministry, see men as trees, my enemies see end them easy, right with venom, ink was hissing, writing still, leaving books burning like the Inquisition. Never asked forgiveness, astrophysics, back to business, globe models hanging on my balls, call it sacrilegious.
That tells a completely different version of a story you thought you knew by heart. These manuscripts were hidden for a reason. In the end, Nag Hammadi's texts aren't just relics. They're a bombshell on traditional teachings, showing us just how diverse and dynamic early Christian thought was.
Wow.
yo, mastering this. And then y'all getting it. That's crazy. Y'all
Great
caught
fire.
up. Right. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Or yeah. So now
Say what?
I said, so now I get to see what we build upon.
Man. It makes sense
Yeah, that's
too.
a pleroma.
It makes more sense now.
Pleroma, the archon. Yeah, it's like coders. It's like, you know what water is, but if I give you a code like H2O, you know
Yeah.
what that is. But I gave you a binary. I just gave you a code for something that means something. You know,
Yeah.
H2O, 2 oxygen, water. But it makes you science is in the words. It's like, wow, that's what rap is. So we can say a little bit, but it means so much.
Yeah.
Real.
Savante says you're cooking. Bars from the stars.
That's what it is. Shout out to Solar Facts.
Straight up.
Solar. Yeah, man. Yeah, this is good. This is dope. Yeah. I'm gonna get to another spot.
All right, I was gonna start the song promotion segment. What you think?
Perfect time, man. Perfect time.
Yep. It's 8 o'clock. We're
Yes,
right on
man.
time.
Yep.
All right.
If I'm bored, I'm out of the board, but I'm here listening.
Okay. We're about to do it. Y'all heard him. It is time for the song promotion segment. I'll let it load up real quick. And here we go.
Song promotions. You send in your music, we play it live on the show for Killah Priest and the world to hear.
All right. What's happening? Let's do it. Time for the song promotion segment. Okay. Submission we got today is from an artist named G Smoke from Grand Rapids, Michigan. The song is called Star of Abrades. It's an MP3. Go. Yo, how'd y'all like that?
They're fire.
That sound like a beat you would rap on.
Yeah. I'm gonna sit that in. That's crazy.
Yo, that's a Killah Priest beat right there. G Smoke, you nailed it.
Yeah.
So can he send that beat to you? Priest.
Give me the info.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Info at killahpriest.tv. G Smoke, send that. I mean, if you are down for Priest to rap on it, Priest will talk to you about it directly. But info at killahpriest.tv, and you can send him that beat, and then Priest will talk to you about the rest on how that goes down. But that definitely sounds like a beat he would go on, and he said he likes it, so I would send that in. At least the MP3. You know what I'm saying?
Please do that. That's fire. Yeah, that's fire.
Yeah. It had all the elements of a Priest beat. Like, it just felt like something you would go on. That's cool. Good reviews in the chat.
Mystical.
Mm-hmm.
It's like thought provoking.
Yeah, etherical. Shout out to G Smoke. That was called Star of Abrades. From Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yo, so I'm gonna keep that name too. That's crazy.
Priest likes the name too, man. That's cool. That's what's up. Great submission. That's what I'm talking about. That's a good song promotion right there. All right, let's see what else we got. Gonna hit refresh. Let's see. Y'all could submit because Priest is here. Let's see. I think this is what I just played. Yep. This might be all we got for today. Yep. Let me check my email real quick because this might be all we got for today. We'll see. Well, hold on. Check my email. Hold on, y'all.
We go dudes.
Say what? Did you let
all those dudes drop?
Did you land already over there?
No, shit, I'm at another spot. I had to, what it is, I had something to do in Chicago.
Oh, got you. Okay, hold up. Let me check it from here. I'm getting some retrograde happening right now. Damn, I can't even log in, yo. Okay, hold up. All right, so this might be it for today.
Oh yeah, shout out to the guest from last night too. That was crazy. John Newsom, one through was crazy, man. Now was born did a great job. It was crazy.
Oh, for yesterday's show?
Yeah,
Nice.
dropping signs. Like
Okay. That's what's up. That goes on every Wednesday.
all right, man. I mean, that's about it for the day. Probably.
Yeah, that's
Let
it.
you get on with your.
Yeah.
I'll start tomorrow. I'll be in the crowd, but I'll be on my live tomorrow. I'll check you out from shoot the vid.
Okay. Okay, you on your live tomorrow?
Yo, I appreciate y'all. Yeah.
All right, peace.
Yo, make sure y'all grab them books, man. They're going fast. I got Nas Ball gonna get one now.
Oh, nice.
Peace.
All right, y'all get that book. All right, y'all. Y'all heard it from the man himself. That's what's up. Like, I'm gonna try one thing real quick before we get out of here. All right, let's see. Wow. Okay, hold up, y'all. I'm retrograding hard right now, y'all. Just want to double check the emails real quick. Okay, I'm finally in. Man. Thing about Microsoft email is it makes you check every single time. All this verification stuff, and I reset my cookies the other day. If y'all know what that means. Okay. Just verified my email. We got no other song submissions. But that's what's up. Our next show is going to be on Sunday. And we'll be ready for that. Let's see. What? Let's say, yo, AD, play that back to end it all. Play what back? I was going to play Mustard Seed. Play what back to end it all? What you saying? Let me go back. That one? I think it means that one. Let's do it. All right, y'all. We out. See you next time on Sunday. Wait, what day is today? Thursday. Yeah, see y'all Sunday. Peace.
My fingers slipped from Solomon's grip. I was swallowed into a bottomless pit, going down through the rocks from a cliff. Though the darkness wasn't the worst of it, as the curses eclipsed, I saw spots in the Gothic when lit, going down the throat of black smoke, into a moat that covered my face and my back like a coat. I'm in its bowels with owls, and men that wrapped their head with towels, and spoke the Talmud, the owls screamed loud too. I'm in his guts, I see skeletal forms, endless tusk, the winds are rough, a gust bends me up. My view is now in the spiral, confused as I go up in the cycle. Circular, 6 dimensions, my body light up. I'm a Merkaba, positive, negative in my messages. I thought the worst occurred. Soon as I lay the verse in the beat, it becomes a 12-person word. I risen from the beast's digestive system. I resurrect with wisdom when I connect with rhythm. I see Solomon hands appearing closer as I reach, coming from debris with composure. Behind me looks like debris from explosives on planets that nova. That's when I got the grip, he pulled me over. As he pulled, he slipped, my hand still in his grip. He tumbled to the edge of the canyon, his body dipped. I said, I got you, hold on, we both pulling so strong. Then he tapped me on the back of my shoulder, asked me what's wrong, asked me why I'm leaning over the canyon. I look again, I'm holding on my other hand like a companion. I said, wait, something not right. It went left, let's get this straight. As he curved the conversation, it could drive you to a place. I backed up shop, bouncing in my mind. A lie sends you mistakes. Food for thought, read it on the plate. Since Adam, Eve, and the snake, evil deeds inflated like a cake. Superstition, religion became a business. Truth is fiction, changed from old, new editions. Youth offenders, new to prisons. Sign up to the system, line up, choose a witness. We lose due to fitness, we chew with a vengeance. No clues for the sickness, cold flu so suspicious. Mom brew hibiscus, a song that she knew, a stew or twist of citrus. Esau's the author of my free fall of torture. Evils and horror, eagles got the borders. Energy has a sequel, cerebral's getting stronger. The mummified hands trying to grab me, the son of I am. Jagged stone streaming past me. Abraxas reading Simha Paroma. Galaxy above my head holding my diploma. Graduated, not encapsulated, a lot infatuated with my greatness. Most of y'all favorites, I'll keep it basic. Instruction before
Ignition sequence start.
I write my verses like the curses using curses. I write my verses like my gospels go spells worship. A warship begin to surface. A warship begin to surface.
Yo, watch how you speak to me. My bars on guard frequency. Your arms too short to spar, even if you in arms reach me. Discard decency and ours are resolved peacefully. Heavily armored bombers when karma's involved. Frequently secrecy, coded language in cryptic forms of mystic norms. Monolithic lords and suspicious storms. Prolific born elaborate author of emerald tablets. So I packaged it for wise men and abbots, extracting the gems that's trapped in it. My pen's mastered it, astronomers tone. They've written books based off on poems, the clone philosopher's stone. alone. Behold progression, the father of all perfection. The wind carries my sessions and travels in all directions. It's evolution, manifesting purpose with spark. The works of art brought to life by the birth of a thought. So serpents who pluck get smited down. Mark it, book it, write it down. I am bound to f*** around and found out when I struck the ground. Thunder sounds broke the sky, open from my potent rhymes. Soaked in blood, the chosen rise. Floating, I awoke in my inner beast with synergy, giving me Christ consciousness. My mic will ignite, throwing embers of light off of it. Know who the prophet is, the great Archon Abraxas. 7 classic planets, commanding and chanting the lands with magic. Decipher the name through numeric tactics. 365 heavens, ascension axis, relentless practice. Tragic, we be Shimha, the great work redeemed through alchemic means of grim boss. My shadow known to dim stars, explode within the coldest men. We overthrow like Moses can exposing sins. That's when my flow ascends.
My right hand is a symposium of holy men holding pens. Each tunnel out and go to gym, then barrel back in. I sit as the pharaoh of rapping. I flow like I spoke in hymns, Catholics and masses. My cathedral cerebral, blood on Abraxas. On my back's a black eagle, medieval. Steeples from ashes. I rose up, wings tucked, king tut, gold rings, emerald green cup, queen's blush, Fareem and Magnum. My egg-shaped skull, the phoenix dragon. Come through the mall, all of y'all human beings that's savage. Wishes are granted if you're left-handed. Toe text, old max, written in old text commandments. Sun, moon, stars, and planets. My Xbox-shaped object just vanished. Chariot of ascension through dimensions. Did I mention this extension of Atlantis? I'm the phantom. I wear the face of space and a million grandsons. Each change place from black to white, from white to random. Master like the yin and yang symbol in temples. I like my money blue and green like ours are the Hindus. Priest and purpose, the wordsmiths, this beat is monumental. Christ consciousness, bow down and honor it. Yeah, we deal with the waters, Noah's Ark. Now we deal with astronomers, show you the charts.